Hey guys, welcome to the third duel in the Sealed for Your Pleasure series. I'm going to do a little bit, or something a little bit different for this one. I'm going to be doing a commentary slash narrative over the games. Uh, the reason for this I will explain at a later point in the video, probably towards the end, but there is a reason for it. This is not going to be the normal format for this, but it hopefully will be good enough that the games are still somewhat enjoyable. So thank you for your time. Thank you for coming in to see the gameplay, I suppose. It is filled with some misplays, as I've said before. We're new, definitely new to Sealed, and we're learning as we go. So please be kind and enjoy, guys. All right, guys. So I'm here with my sister, and yeah, we're gonna do a little post-game commentary. This is actually post-game commentary. It's been a little while. So we rolled the dice. Say hi, Linz.
Hello.
Oh, I used your name. How does it feel? Lindsay.
I don't give a shit.
Language. Okay, so we rolled the dice. She won, as usual. She throws down an Orzhov Guildgate. Goes to me. I throw down an Orzhov Guildgate, letting her know that,
It's
still
getting
I'm
real.
gonna keep it pretty even. Yeah. So she lays down a plains, and this just completely turns the game, in her favor. But she has nothing to play. So she passes the turn. I play an island, and this is where it gets exciting. I decide to go ahead.
Good
So
play.
So land go, land go, land go, land go. She plays a second plains, and she's about to throw down one of her many, many flyers. She's gonna throw down a Rakdos Drake. So she's gonna unleash it. 2/3 that can't block. Here I do. I try to get one dice out of the container. Look at that.
Very nicely done.
Y-
Best move you made the whole.
You're not clapping. Thank you. So, yeah, I play a Dimir Cluestone, which, yeah,
I should have conceded then.
I the only thing the Cluestone has going against it is it's not a creature, it doesn't fly, and it's not bigger than your Rakdos Drake. Other than that, it was probably the right play. So,
It was close.
plays a forest, and she throws down a Bronzebeak Moa, which I am going to find out in this game is a freaking beast.
It's amazing.
So she throws two at me with the Rakdos Drake. I can't do anything about it. Drop down to 18. She passes the turn. And here's where things get real. I miss my land drop, and I play a Council of the Absolute. And I'm going to name Debt to the Deathless. Pretty much. I don't know what's in her deck. I don't know if she has any spells. So I have to name mine, plus it being cheaper. It's just so much better. So I pass the turn to her. She has a 2/3 in the air and a 2/2 that can get very big. I have a 2/4 that really doesn't do much, at least at this point. So it seems she has quite a few options from what I can see in her hand. And she decides to throw down a Steeple Roc. So 3/1 flying first strike, and since it entered the battlefield, it triggers the Bronzebeak Moa, making it a 5/5. So now I'm facing 7 points of damage. Two of them I can't do anything about, and one of them I'd have to chump block with my Council, which I'm not too excited to do. So I just take it, drop myself down to 11. She passes the turn. You're not talking. So I attack with the Council. Now this is a power play that you're not going to see on Star City or the Pro Tour or any of that. This is so she drops down to 18. Now this is a very important life to be at. You're going to see why in Never.
Oh,
So
oh.
so I passed the turn, and at the beginning of her upkeep, I this plays beautiful. I don't know if you remember this, but it's pretty crazy. So
It was very memorable.
I I tap all my mana and the Cluestone, and I play both far and away. Now with the far, I'm gonna bounce her Bronzebeak because I want her to have to sacrifice one of her flyers because I can't deal with those. I can at least maybe block the Bronzebeak half of the time. So I far the Bronzebeak, and she decides to sacrifice the Steeple Roc, which is all sorts of wrong, but it really doesn't matter.
Your face is all sorts of wrong.
How dare you? You know I'm a beautiful man.
Man.
Thing,
Uh,
it. I don't know. So anyway, Steeple Roc goes away, and she's left with Rakdos Drake. I So she's going to go ahead and finish her turn here. She's going to replay the Bronzebeak Moa, which I didn't buy myself that much time, but it still at least got rid of the Steeple Roc, so the aerial army was not as strong. So she's got... she's retapping and tapping her lands. I'm pretty sure she cheated at this point, but I can't find out how. So she's going to lay down a Sinister Possession and throw it on my council, making it to where if I block or attack with my council, it will do 2 damage to me. She attacks with the Rakdos Drake, dropping me down to 9. She passes the turn. I draw a card. Slam down my Golgari Gate. She didn't concede yet, which really, it still kind of boggles my mind. The hell were you thinking?
I don't know.
Start talking. People aren't going to think you're here the whole time. So, not looking too good. Here I play a horrible card. Not a horrible card, but just really did not do much for me. I throw down a Pilfered Plans, I think it is. Yeah.
The card's right there in front of your face.
It's pixelated when it's not done. Oh my god. Okay, so I make her put the top 2 cards of her library into her graveyard. I draw 2 cards. I believe I drew a Debt to the Deathless, so things are looking pretty good. I have the council out, which will make it cheaper. I need to draw a second white source. So I passed the turn to her.
Then what happened?
I don't know. We're waiting for you to do something.
I'm thinking.
Okay, you're messing with the cards.
Messing?
Okay, I'm reading Sinister Possession. And then you slam down a second Rakdos Drake.
There you go.
You unleash it, and it triggers the Bronzebeak Moa again. Here I try to get 1 dice out again. And she gets annoyed, yeah. And so we got 2 unleashed Rakdos Drake. She sends the one without sickness and the Bronzebeak, which is pumped. I block with my council because I have to stop the damage. Pretty much chump block with the council. And take 2 from the Rakdos Drake and 2 from the Sinister Possession that was on the council, dropping me to 5. She passes the turn. I really need to get a white source. Very, very badly need to get a white source.
I'm angry.
I did not get a white source. I was not angry at this game really that much. Throw down a Ubelsar Gatekeepers. Since I have 2 gates, I'm going to throw the -2/-2 onto the Bronzebeak Moa. Mainly because the Drakes are 2/3s and they won't die. So, it's not looking too great for me. She still has things in the air that I cannot kill. Pass the turn back to her. Luckily for me, she does not draw... Well, it really doesn't change the math. But she doesn't draw anything to play, so here in a second she's going to decide to just attack with the 2 Rakdos Drakes. So she throws 4 damage at me, dropping me down to 1. I desperately need to draw a Plains. A Plains is probably the only thing that will save me. Actually, I know it is. And what do I draw? It's like a Plains. It's a gate.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And it hurts me on the inside. And I get pissy and quit. So that's game 1. So game 1 didn't go exactly how I thought it would. I actually really liked my deck. Well, to be honest, I liked the 2 council and the Debt to the Deathless and everything else. So it's kind of disappointed by game 1, but I just could not really deal with the flyers, and a Bronzebeak Moa is insane to deal with when you have a bunch of little creatures in there. So I really didn't have too much removal outside of what I was using. Essentially just a few cards, make her sacrifice, bounce 1 to her hand. The Ubelsar Gatekeepers, which only gives -2/-2, which really doesn't work against the Rakdos Drakes. But I had a Rakdos Drake of my own and another flyer, the Wing Drake, the blue flyer, dude. Sorry, I kind of forgot what I had. But anyways, I was through sideboarding. I really couldn't think of too much I had that could really get in the way of all that aggro. So I think I put in a second Sinister Possession, if anything, just to try to match hit for hit, if I could get it on a Rakdos Drake early. But other than that, I didn't have too much. I really didn't have any other creatures I could throw in either that were fast enough to really be worth a damn. So yeah, that was pretty much the game plan. I was kind of sticking to what I had. The the first game would have gone a lot better if I got my second planes or my second white source for my Debt to the Deathless, but I had it in hand the whole time, and I didn't get a second white source until it was way too late. And when I got it, it was a gate, so I couldn't even play that turn. So that was pretty much my sideboarding plans. Like usual, my sister really doesn't sideboard. I don't think she ever really needs to, judging by this stuff. But yeah, so her deck stayed the same, and mine got minimal improvements, if you want to call it that. So let's see what happens in game two. All right, so we're in game two. How do you feel about that first one? You feel pretty good about
I
that?
feel pretty good about
Yeah,
that.
you
I
should.
don't think I screwed up too bad.
You only won because I misplayed somehow.
Yeah.
So I start off with an Orzhov Guildgate. Much like my first game, she starts with the swamp, which is it's cute, you know. Nice try. So play a swamp and I throw down a Tithe Drinker. 2/1 lifelink with extort. And I think a pretty good lead, but then of course she has to have the same damn thing.
Yeah.
Because that's just what she
I think
does.
mine's shiny, so it's better.
Is that the shiny one? You
I
had
think-
two.
oh.
I don't- So that sucks. She passes a turn. I play a planes and I offer up the trade. This probably wasn't correct. I have no idea. I probably should have just kept letting us like go lifelink, but she had so many 2/3s and there's so many cards that can chump my Tithe Drinker. So we trade. Both go to 22. I pass the turn back to her. And something happens. A planes comes down. That's right. How could I forget that? All right, so we have 3 mana,
There it comes.
and she decides to mix it up from game 1 and play a Rakdos Drake. So I'm starting to get a little. I did not have anything in my pool that could really deal with flyers. So
Excuse.
I have many excuses.
Yeah, I know you do.
So tap my 4 mana, throw down my council, naming Debt to the Deathless once again.
For no reason, once again.
It's the only sorcery card that I have that needs to be cheaper. So I got my 2/4. She's got her 2/3 in the air. She plays her second Rakdos Drake, unleashing it again.
Throwing a little tantrum. Very
So
nice.
she attacks for 2. That's what I do. Actually, do you see how skillful that was? It stayed on 1. The
I know
dice
that
hit
was
each
on
other.
purpose.
Yeah. You know how often I practice that? So she passes the turn back, 22 to 20. Here I make a punt. For some reason, I thought she could block with the Rakdos Drake, so I don't attack with the council. Horrible play on my part, but it's what I
It
do.
must have been my fault
Yeah,
that you didn't get that.
probably.
Yeah.
So she's got her army. I've got my little wiener 2/4 that makes the spell I never cast worth it.
Oh, I'm thinking again.
So, yep, you are thinking. And is it here? Yeah, here's where she completely pisses me off. So, my hand started with Tithe Drinker, Council, and Debt to the Deathless. Up until this point, I had drawn nothing but lands. So, she punishes my greed on trying to cast Debt next turn instead of the turn before by getting rid of it. I didn't know she had a Sin Collector, so she's neutered my hand to having nothing but lands now. She attacks me for 4, dropping me to 16, and I have nothing but lands in my hand. So she points to the card saying I gave it away by naming Debt to the Deathless, even though I would have named it no matter what. So I get lucky here, and I top deck an Aetherling, which is probably the only thing that can really do anything this
Yeah, I
game for
wasn't
me
happy to see
outside
that.
of a Debt to the Deathless. So I attack in for 2, dropping her down to 20, and now it's anyone's game, really. So stop. If you laugh, they're not going to think it's true. So I pass the turn back to her, and things are looking,
Eh.
we're in a race situation. I'm going to have to draw some good cards, because, again, all I have are lands in my hand. And, so if she plays the third Rakdos Drake, which is exciting for everyone that was there.
I was excited.
Yeah, so she attacks with the 2 Drakes that do not have sickness and drops me down to 12. Which, hurrah. So she passes the turn back, and luckily I draw another land. So that's
We're real
awesome.
happy now.
So I tap my tap an island, make Aetherling unblockable. And I just attack with the Aetherling, holding back the Council just in case, like, she attacks with the Sin Collector. I don't know. I have a feeling my life's going to get pretty low. It really doesn't matter. I don't know. Probably should have attacked with that, but... And then I pump the Aetherling with the rest of my land to make it an 8-1, dropping her down to 12. So I pretty much have one turn after this one to find something worth a damn. Actually, my next turn is pretty much I have to find something good. So she decides to just go full out piece of crap and play a 4th Rakdos Drake.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Unfortunately, Necrotitis is not the name of her deck. It should just be mono Rakdos Drake. So 4 unleashed Rakdos Drakes, and she sends the 3 that don't have summoning sickness at me, dropping me down to 6. So I need to get a debt. And that's pretty much all that can save me at this point, because all I can do is bring her down to 4.
Wait a minute.
What?
Isn't Aetherling you pay a colorless and you get him +1, -1 or something?
Yeah.
So why don't you just pump him and then make him unblockable and then kick my ass?
I did.
Oh.
If I only drop you to 4 and you kill me with your flyers.
Oh, right on.
And this is when I discover that. Coming up right about here. Where
Oh, angry.
And we're dead. So, yeah, that was fun. And she kicked my butt thoroughly. It's not well. Okay, so
all right.
That wraps it up. Sealed for Your Pleasure Week 3. I thought my deck was bonkers with 3 Debt to the Deathless, 2 Councils, an Aetherling, 2 Tithe Drinkers, and yeah, none of that kind of fell into place.
Teach you to be cocky.
I realized the second game that I should have played my debt the turn before. Since I had nothing else in my hand, I really wanted it to be like super huge. And I did not know she had Sin Collectors. I forgot, I don't pay attention to her pool. Mainly because if we were doing this for real, I wouldn't know what her deck is. And she didn't play game 1. So, yeah. Guild Drop, you said I should be ashamed if I don't win with Esper.
He's been crying all
I
day.
am. I didn't handle it well. There's not much I can do against the 4 Rakdos Drake, the 2 Steeple Roc, and the 2 Bronzebeak Moas you had?
Yeah.
And 2 Sin Collectors?
Yeah.
And, yeah, your deck was so good.
It was so awesome.
It was so good. I thought both of our decks were pretty good. I didn't play that well. I definitely could have made that go to a game 3. But, yeah, so that is what it is. Hopefully that was somewhat entertaining. I apologize for having to do this commentary afterwards. If you guys like this, we can do this every week and do this instead of you guys listening to us just talk as we play the game. Kind of up to you. There's not as much witty banter as when we do this commentary thing. She's kind of not nervous or shy right now, but she's not in her element. But yes, if you guys like this, let us know. Next week, tomorrow, we're going to be doing an Innistrad block. So we're just going to do 2 Innistrad, 2 Dark Ascension, and 2 Avacyn Restored. Excuse me. And yeah, we hopefully will try to be doing some older ones down the road, but that's money. And for those of you saying do Unhinged, never going to happen. We're not going to spend $120 to do a draft that's almost unplayable. It would be fun, but not for that price. Not even close. So, sorry about that. And, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the series. It's fun for us to do. It definitely makes opening packs a lot more enjoyable because we're paying attention to cards that we never did before. And, yeah. So, we'll see you guys tomorrow for Innistrad Block Sealed for Your Pleasure. Say goodbye, Linz.
Goodbye.
You could say it like you're a...
Bye!
There you go. Just like a lady.